This weekend, more than 500 paddlers are racing across the Adirondacks from Old Forge to Saranac Lake for the Adirondack 90-miler Canoe Classic. They'll have help from their own pit crew folks and official pit stops along the racecourse. It's a gigantic undertaking, a massive logistical stunt in the middle of the Adirondack wilderness, involving tons of people.
We work with the lake associations, we work with the DEC, we work with fire departments, all different organizations from Old Forge all the way up to Saranac Lake.
An Army-trained logistician is behind it all. We talked to her on today's Story of the Day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Long Run Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor in Lake Placid, providing comprehensive wealth management, retirement, and financial planning solutions. LongRunWealth.com. And the Devlin Inn and Suites, Lake Placid, welcoming families, athletes, and groups to the Olympic Village, offering Adirondack mountain views and dog-friendly accommodations. TheDevlinNY.com.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Wednesday, September 3rd. First up, cannabis shops will soon be allowed in Watertown. Yesterday, the Watertown City Council reversed a decision it made 2 years ago that prohibited cannabis shops from opening in the city. The narrow 3-2 vote allows state-regulated cannabis shops and enables the city to collect a portion of sales tax revenue. Councilmember Cliff Olney said that legal dispensaries provide people with a better alternative.
I feel that it's not just about the revenue, it's about the safety of the product that's being sold, and we know that the product is being sold right now in the city.
Mayor Sarah Pierce and Councilman Benjamin Schoen voted against the measure. Schoen said he's worried the legal shops make marijuana too accessible.
What we're doing by not having it in the city allows people to actually have to think, am I going to drive there for this? Do I want it that bad? Is this what I'm going to spend my money on today? But if you put it right in front of them on State Street, I don't like it.
Councilmember Lisa Ruggiero, who voted yes, said the city now has more information than when it prohibited cannabis shops. Commercial dispensaries have been legal statewide since 2022. The New York State Fair is over, and that means a major cleanup is underway at the state fairgrounds near Syracuse. As Jason Smith with the New York Public News Network reports, part of that involves the always popular butter sculpture.
Jack Clapper is the co-owner of Noblehurst Farms in Livingston County. For the last 10 years, the farm has collected the 800 pounds of butter used to create the State Fair butter sculpture, and they use it to turn it into energy.
We're going to take this 800 pounds of butter and turn it into electricity that would otherwise end up in a landfill and create renewable electricity.
Clapper says the leftover butter goes into an anaerobic digester with other food waste and cow manure, which will eventually turn it into electricity.
It'll go into this big giant vat that is similar to a human stomach, and it will be digested in there. And then after that, there's a methane that's created. The methane goes to a series of generators where it's converted over to electricity, and that's where we will then power our farm and local communities.
So how much electricity does an 800-pound butter sculpture produce?
So we estimate 800 pounds could power a home in our community for about 3 to 5 days. So over the course of the 10 years that we've been doing this, we're able to power a home for a full month with that 8,000 pounds of butter that we've taken over the 10 years.
In Syracuse, I'm Jason Smith for the New York Public News Network.
So the big talk this year in the paddling community for the 90-miler race, which starts on Friday, is low water. There are going to be some serious choke points due to exposed rocks and stream beds, and the organizers are urging racers to be patient and kind. But even in a normal year, the 90-miler is a logistical stunt to pull off. The coordination of 100 volunteers, DEC and DOT permits, fire and local police crews, medical and safety assistants. Overseeing it all is one woman, logistics coordinator Jordana Malik. She told me that volunteer-piloted safety boats all along the course are crucial.
Both so that paddlers know where to go, but also so that should a paddler have a problem, someone is there and able to assist them.
And these are important, the safety boats. Like, they're also taking the number of every boat every canoe, every kayak as it goes past, so that you basically know where everybody is over the course of the day?
Yes, we have designated safety boat counters. We also have carries. We have designated boat counters as well that help us keep track. So the Adirondack Amateur Radio Association, they provide communication support for us because there isn't cell phone service throughout the entire race. And they're critical to our safety as well because they have communication throughout the entire race, even when cell phones don't.
So what do you do on race day?
So on race morning, I start out at the starting line and I'm helping to spot. So we make sure that every boat that we have in our roster is actually on the water so that we can get a good count till we begin. And then I'm the last person to leave the finish line. So I make sure that if anybody forgot anything, it goes in the lost and found. We always do a police call of everywhere that we are. And then I pack up and I move to the first pit stop and I check on them. I make sure that they have everything they need. And if there's a paddler who's in distress or has any trouble, make sure that we connect them to whatever they need. So then I keep sort of following the race as we go. Then we clean up all the stop supplies, load them all into the truck, and I head towards the finish line where I help out with whatever needs to be done at that point.
It strikes me that, one of the unique logistical challenges of this is that much of the 90-miler canoe race takes place in pretty remote wilderness. And so you're dealing with everything from keeping that wilderness unspoiled, like not having garbage left around, to, making sure people are safe and have the things that they might need out there in the backcountry.
It's definitely a balancing act. We have a lot of volunteers, thankfully, who are comfortable on the water and can paddle up to different places they need to go. Trying to get supplies up to Racket Falls, in particular this year, is challenging because the water is so low and the motorboat that we would normally use can't get down far enough to Exton Landing. So we're looking at paddling up 30 gallons of water and the cups and the garbage, and we'll paddle it all out.
How did you come to this? And you said that you were deployed somewhere?
So I just retired from the military in April, and Brian McDonald, who owned the race prior to the Northern Forest Canoe Trail taking it over, I'm not sure how, actually, maybe through my husband, but he heard, I was a logistics officer for the military and asked if I might be interested in working on logistics for the 90-miler. And then when the race transitioned to ownership with the Northern Forest Canoe Trail, I guess they were impressed enough with my work and they offered me a contract.
So this is your thing, logistics. This is like, do you enjoy it? Do you like this?
I do like a good Excel, spreadsheet, definitely. I do enjoy logistics. I like kind of the process of taking the chaos and executing it perfectly. In the military, we always say a good logistician, you'll never even know they're there because everything will happen seamlessly. And in my mind, honestly, that is the same thing for the 90-miler, right? Nobody should know what I'm doing. It should all just happen, and nobody should even notice.
I paddle in the 90-miler, and us paddlers and boaters are very deeply, deeply appreciative of your work.
I appreciate that. And honestly, it is a really great group of volunteers and paddlers. I appreciate it at the cutoff. Sometimes things get a little bit heated because people have worked really hard, and to not make stuff can be challenging. But beyond that, everybody I work with is great. And I love the enthusiasm, especially at the pit stops, the volunteers, the way they cheer on the paddlers. And even the safety boaters will tell me, they're out there with their cowbells or their whistles and they're cheering. And it's just such a positive, community atmosphere.
Jordana Malik is the logistics coordinator for the Adirondack 90-miler Canoe Classic. The race runs over 3 days from Old Forge to Saranac Lake starting on Friday. You can find maps and also the best places to watch the race on our website, ncpr.org. Music today by Danny Thomas of Canton and Gretchen Kohler and Daniel Kelly of Potsdam. I'm David Sommerstein, North Country Public Radio.